Yo, Andy,
Hello.
congratulations on completing the farm.
Thank you, buddy.
How long do you think you got left until unlock?
The way tickets are dropping. A little while. I managed to squeeze out enough tickets to do the Jedi Knight Anakin versus Mace Windu one. So he's up to 45 now.
Mm.
I think it's probably going to be a week, maybe a week and a half. So I don't know.
Pretty good.
Yeah, we'll get there when we get there. But
yeah.
How do you guys feel about that?
A lot easier than events seem a lot easier than what Arnold made out in his video. I don't know how he failed the first mission with Sidious, because as long as you have the Zeta, it's just easy.
Yeah, I was just saying I hadn't really seen the events for the two newer Galactic Legend guys. I just hadn't bothered looking at them because I just assumed they were the same as the Kylo and Rey ones.
Yeah, I just think the ticket thing's a bit of a scam, really, to be honest. Like, you've done all that work to the events, and it's like, oh yeah, we're just gonna gate it by like a fuck ton of energy.
It does feel like they felt that they had to do something for you to play now that you've got the requirements, just like how the normal legendaries are. But there's not really a lot there, is there, to those events? Especially, don't you have to replay each level 4 times or something?
You got to do the first one 8 times. Second
8
one
times.
4.
Why?
It's a piss take how easy it is, though. All I've got is potency set on Sidious, which gives him a little bit of speed, not a huge amount. And
At least you get a cinematic event. I didn't.
Yeah, but you get the level with all the weird stuff.
Just 5 first orders versus 5 resistance, and that was 12 times. And then I got to the duels.
Rock, paper, scissors. Yeah.
The Kylo and Rey events were absolute garbage.
Yeah, they didn't look great.
What I'd rather them do is make the events a little bit harder, but don't gate it buying tickets. You've spent 4 months putting that roster together, and then it's like, ha ha ha, go farm a load of shit for some tickets.
You're basically doing another energy farm for the Galactic Legend themselves.
Yeah.
What do you think's worse, though, the ticket system or the actual event?
Oh, the event is neither challenging nor fun.
I suppose, especially if you fail. Great. No refunds.
I didn't even fail a battle, I just didn't have any fun. It was like, oh, I have enough tickets to go into this event again. Let's do that.
So what is the Sith Eternal one? You said it was cinematic. Does it actually follow a story?
You do. The first one is Sidious versus the 3 Jedi where Mace Windu tries to take over. And then the second one is Anakin versus Mace for some reason. Which again is really easy. You just hit him twice with the second ability and he's dead. and then the third one's obviously Vader and Palpatine and Luke on the Death Star, which is, from what I've seen, is ridiculously easy as well. It's really hard to lose. So what I don't get about it is I'd rather them just make the events difficult, to the point where it's okay, you've really got to think about your mods and all that kind of stuff, and just gate me behind this ticket system just to grind.
Yeah, but see, whales can't spend money on brain cells.
Oh, yeah, I don't know.
So I got one question about that event, though, right? So if you watch the film, and you may not have noticed this, you may have to go rewatch it. The scene, obviously, where he's in Palpatine's office, and he's like, "You're the Sith bad guy," and he's like, "Yes, I'm evil." Right? The Kit Fisto character.
That's the script.
That is basically the script. But the Kit Fisto character basically just sort of falls over dead. Nothing even really happens to him. It's almost like somebody walks past him and he just dies. Does that actually happen in the level that you play?
It's Kit Fisto, some other dude, Mace, and you can't kill Mace. You just go after the other 2. by the time you've inflicted all the dots and the exposures and all that stuff, like, they just don't stand a chance. The only thing that's difficult is like there's a cycle on him where if he gets to 20 stacks, he'll hit you for massive damage. But like for some reason, Sidious's evasion is so high, like they barely even hit you anyway, and you've destroyed the other two before he even gets
against Jedi.
Yeah, like it's like you're evading basically 50% of their attack. So when they do hit you, it's like they're being pissed on about like. So it's just like it's just it's so unsatisfying considering like how much you put in, and like when I finally took into Relic 7, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. But it's like, oh yeah, just beat these 2 Jedi, and then like, oh wow, you got to wait 3 days to get some more tickets,
and then do it another 7 times.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you don't even get the chance to just
it'll be
auto
worth
it.
it. Like, you get it. So
why do they make you play it more than once though? What's the point?
I'd rather they give us more unique levels than make us replay the first level 8 times.
Yeah, and there's so much you could do with the Sidious one. Like you could have done the fight against Maul Oppress. That would have been cool.
That would have been so sick. Not like in the game, because mechanics do not make for cinematic fights, but
there's just so much more you could have done.
Yeah.
Like they were like, yeah, just LOL, just kill Kit Fisto or some other dude for a laugh, and then
I suppose
you have to fight Mace Windu, Anakin.
It's kind of difficult though because of like the characters they've picked. You know, it's like the Sith Eternal Emperor shows up for like 2 scenes in the film. And that's about it.
In with a scene with Piet.
Yeah, and then he just summons like 50 Star Cruisers out of nowhere in a massive army, like, and he can shoot all that lightning into the sky. And I was just like, well, why didn't you do that in Return of the Jedi? I don't understand. But yeah, that's just hating on the sequels. We're just hating on the sequels now. So
also, they needed to actually explain in the films when Palpatine came back, like how, because I know they explained it afterwards, or someone did, but that was very poorly done in the films.
Well, I think in the films, don't they just go, Palpatine's back?
Somehow, Palpatine has returned.
I mean, to be fair, if you were fighting a war, would you really care how he came back? You'd just be like, oh, just get rid of him again.
They literally ripped that thing where they found the relic from the Goonies.
Pretty much.
No, it's not even pretty much. It's 100%. It's where is it Ray who found it? She held that thing. She held that thing up to her eye and looked through it at the fallen.
Oh, the dagger thing.
And I'm like, that is literally from the Goonies.
Because some guy decided that he was going to go get a knife, travel all the way to Endor, go, oh yeah, the thing they're looking for is in the throne room thing, so therefore I will now sit on this side of the river and carve the knife to look like it, and then write some shit on the side. And he couldn't have just wrote, it's in the fucking throne room. Why didn't you just
write a note going, yeah, relics of the throne room, go get it? Like,
you know, it's not even protected. Anyone could have just walked in and nicked it.
Literally just walked in.
You know, like you think Indiana Jones, where he's got to put the bag of sand on and like switch it for the artifact. It's not even like that. It's literally like just walk through the door. It's right there. It's probably got water on it. It might not even work.
What's the name of the pirate from the Goonies? It's not Whistling Winnie, is it? It's something else.
I don't know.
It's Willy something.
It feels like it should be Googled.
One-Eyed Willy, that's it. That's one. Yeah, see, I was just half expecting Ray to look through it and go, "Oh, it's the treasure of One-Eyed Willy."
I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen the Goonies.
What? Sort your life out, bro.
What?
We're in lockdown. You haven't watched the Goonies.
I haven't
watched the Goonies in lockdown either.
I watched the Wonka and the Chocolate Factory this morning. The original, not the new one.
Did you know they're making a prequel for that?
Willy Wonka, is he going to return from the dead or something? Or
prequel?
Oh, prequels. Oh, okay.
Willy Wonka kidnaps all the.
And Willy Wonka kidnaps the kids and kills all the young men.
No, wait, doesn't he turn them into those the orange people? Yeah.
Oompa Loompas.
The guys with too much tan.
Oompa Loompas.
Donald Trump's ancestors.
Thank God Donald Trump's out now. Just saying.
Yeah,
no,
to be replaced
Raid
by...
doesn't like politics.
No, I like politics. It
That's
just
on the-
someone always gets upset, and it won't be me.
No one's gonna get upset with Donald Trump leaving.
I mean,
Literally replacing him with a guy who's got dementia is a bit.
Did you see the
That's-
tens of thousands of people who did get really upset?
What always makes me laugh is like, how bad must your political system be if your two choices are like a guy you can't even remember his daughter's name, or like a complete outright racist? Today people
American
just look at
politics.
each other and go, "Do you think we can do a little bit better than this?"
The walking what's it?
Well, unfortunately, those are the people with money.
I just find
All my homies hate capitalism.
I guess I'm just a nihilist. I find a lot of humour in really terrible things.
Speaking of terrible things, how about that 3v3?
Does Raid want to start the recording?
I know,
yet?
we've been recording
recording
for like
it,
15 minutes or however long.
Wait, we've been
Oh,
recording
right.
this.
Yep, this is all going in.
Oh,
Brilliant. Like
I
it.
wasn't made.
Well.
I wasn't made aware of this.
It's fine.
I did not know that.
It's always better that way.
Well then, hello,
Yes.
viewers.
Yes, hello, all three of our possible fans. I'm not sure if we've got more than that.
Yeah, we don't.
I think
I'm
we're at
all
11.
three of them.
Yeah.
So 3v3's on. I'm not a fan. I've made this known numerous times in my videos. How about you guys?
Who
I
is
do
it?
not have videos, but I hate them.
Can't stand it.
3v3 can go die.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it massively needs an explanation more than the fact that it's not how the rest of the game is designed, and it kind of breaks stuff and then makes it dull for an entire month.
I mean, I am kind of glad it's here on my alt because I don't have that many characters, and I only need to put 9 characters down on defense as opposed to 15. So it helps on that.
So have you
But on my main account, I can't.
Yeah, on your alt
Standard.
though, have you got in at the very last division?
I'm currently in Division 11. I've just set defense for the first time. In an hour, I will be attacking for the first time.
Okay, is that the highest division that's available at the moment? I'm
It's
not.
the lowest one, Division 11. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just sort of like, I couldn't remember how many divisions there were. Oh yeah, it is 11. 0 to
Which is weird.
600k.
Usually it would be 12. You know.
I think
or 10.
600k is about average though for when you hit level 85.
I think it is roughly, but I've been quite focused on like first order because obviously Supreme Loot Color and Farm. But yeah, I'm on about 500k.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But if you look at number 1 and 2, oh wow, they already have relics in Division 11.
Really?
Yeah.
So what, they basically just saved it up, and then as soon as they hit level 85, they were like, right, that's it, I've got my relic stuff.
I'm almost... Okay, never mind. Number 1 now is someone with... Oh, yeah, number 1. 500,000 power. Relic 3 Bosk, Relic 3 Annie, Relic 3 Kylo, Asajj, Grand Moff Tarkin, Ahsoka, Nest, and Ezra Bridger.
What, they're all relic?
5-star Traya. Yeah, all of those are Relic 3. 5-star Traya. Gear 12 Scion. Gear 11 Zombie. Gear 11 Nihilus.
I mean, a Gear 12 Scion's pretty tough when you hit level 85.
No, but the thing is, if you look at what he's got, it's like the first 2 rows are Gear 11 and above. Then there's a Gear 8 5s. And then it's just level 1s.
All right, so it's definitely a really specific thing he's done for his account.
I don't know how he's done it with just level 1s.
Well, it's got to be an alt.
Because, well, yeah, but how? Because you have to buy. I have to upgrade certain characters in order to continue with the game.
I mean, I guess if he joined a guild and they basically were just playing raids for ages, and he was just getting free characters, you could
then it's going to be things like daily challenges. to level him up.
Yeah, I suppose you
But
do.
Still,
you do have to do some guys.
Yeah.
So he doesn't even have
That's
like Jedi Consular
insane.
hidden back there at like level 3 or something.
Farm Boy Luke, Gear 1. Where are the other starters? Clone Sergeant, Gear 1, nothing on him. Talia, Gear 1, nothing on him. Magna Guard, Gear 1, nothing on him. Same with Royal Guard, Snow Trooper, Geo Soldier, Scout. Wait, does he even have Jedi Consular?
And I mean, if you just spent money on the game, you'd have just bought the hyperdrive, so it kind of seemed a bit weird. But it's definitely got to be an alt. There's no way you could grind all the way up to level 85 without leveling up somebody.
I do take it back. Level 2 Consular.
Oh, it's like twice as powerful.
If that. But yes, that is low-level divisions. I'm streaming my matches for the Senate Alliance because I was asked to. So I'll be doing that at some point. But yeah, should be fun.
What are your matchups looking like?
Well, everyone in my arena, like my shard at the moment, there's no way they can take my Caloran masked, which is why he's gone on defense. Except one person, Super Dan, who has Geos.
All my homies like Super Dan.
Oh, and
what is your Kylo at?
Gear 11 with Zeta.
Okay, so other than Relic Guy.
Other than Relic Guy, most people around my GP are pretty spread out, like quite a lot of Gear 8s and stuff. I'm quite focused, but then there's a couple of people that have got Gear 12s and stuff, but they're like 600,000.
Actually, just thinking about this for a sec, right? This guy's got how many relics, did you say? Like 6? 8?
I think it's 8 or 9.
Right, so you've got 8 relics. You've just got to level 85. You've skipped, like, everything else. The only way he could feasibly have got enough Gear 12 pieces and the finisher materials, because they basically only drop in the assault battles, is for him to have bought them.
There is also the raid. He's clearly got raid gear.
Yeah, but you don't get finisher pieces though. The like the injector doodads or whatever they are.
You can get those crystals.
Yeah, but how's he going to get any crystals?
Buying it. Yeah, there's no way this guy's free to play.
Yeah,
like,
he's
no way in hell.
But then it's like, why didn't you just buy the hyperdrive?
Who knows? I mean, why would you choose to relic Ezra?
Ezra's actually quite good at relic, but I guess there are other characters.
Yeah, but he's got no one else to go with him.
I don't know.
I mean,
it's not explainable.
Bosk is a level 85 relic. How did he even get there?
I mean, you have to be level 85 to farm Bosk.
Yeah, I've only just unlocked him.
I don't know. Maybe he bought like the pack where you get like a complete random character or something.
Oh. No, I know how he's done it. The weekly shipment.
Oh right, okay.
At the start of the game, you get certain character shards from that, including Eyeless, Caloran, and Mask, stuff like that. He's clearly just bought those. Just week in, week out. He's just bought those characters and used those. That makes a bit of sense now.
That makes his count like really expensive, but he doesn't really have anything for that money.
He is number 1, to be fair, so it's clearly working.
I mean, hyperdrive takes you to what, like Division 10? It skips a few divisions just with the GP.
Yeah, but you actually get stuff you can use.
You get so many Gear 8s, 5 stars.
Yeah.
Then all the ships.
Yeah, it's got useful stuff in it. Even if you think, oh, well, it's all GP I don't want, it's all useful, and it saves you having to do so much stuff. I mean, him getting to level 85 is like, you need to beat nodes to get the experience points. I don't think you can buy the experience outside the hyperdrive.
No, you can't buy experience points, but you can get daily challenges and stuff. Just because he's clearly got the characters and just used those characters from that shop. Because you can get light side and dark side from that, so he'll have done the missions with that one character that he's bought.
I suppose.
And then he'll have had I got through most of my light side battles using an ally.
Yeah.
Galactic Legends Array and stuff. So.
It's a strange way he's done it, but if it makes him feel better, then good luck to him. Letting him dominate 3v3.
Division 11.
Yeah. I mean, so last time we had 5v5, and then before that we had 3v3 as well. It seems kind of strange that this one's come on so quick, because it does get a bit of hate, 3v3.
A bit.
Yeah, there's a fair amount of people, even if you just look at the official forum, that cry about it.
So it should be.
Do you think that they've done this because they've obviously Beskar Mando's just come out and we've just had the Armourer, and that they think that maybe people will be able to use them more because you don't need as many characters?
No, I think they're just drawing modes out of a hat at this point.
And I swear that BB-8 portrait came from the BB-8 event.
There is one on the challenges right now. I know they've just gone back to the Resistance.
Yeah, I could have sworn though you already got BB-8 portrait from some.
Yeah, they had that. It's the second time this challenge has run. So I'd imagine that next time we'll probably get the First Order one again.
And I can finally get that Kylo Ren unmasked portrait.
Oh, I missed that last time because I didn't have regular Kylo unlocked. I'd farmed up the shuttle, but then I hadn't got Kylo unlocked, so I was like, I can't activate my shuttle. I can't. But I think you have to do a fleet battle for that, and that's going to be pretty hard where I am in fleet.
I mean, it's what I do daily anyway.
Yeah, but I don't know if I want to drop enough ranks that I could beat it using the shuttle, or unless I just slot it in and just poop it out at the end.
I'm not actually missing any portraits I want.
But is this on your main account, I assume?
Yeah. Yeah, I've got all the Sith-related ones.
Have you been doing the Sith quests?
Oh, actually, I need to log in again. I'm pretty sure one of them was Gear 12 Maul.
Yeah, he's on there.
Oh no, I haven't been doing it because I haven't been using Asajj to kill Jedi. So.
Oh right, you know what you can do with that though is when the Galactic Challenge rocks round and there are Jedi enemies, you can just keep killing them and it'll rack up those kills pretty quick.
I could do that now with Jolie and Jahan. I might do that. That's something to do whilst we're podcasting.
Yeah, well, just replay the level 400 times.
Yes.
But yeah, that's a very easy way of doing it. I think somebody said they did that on the previous one where all the Jedi kept coming back on the Night Sister one. I think they were doing it on that one.
Oh, that's a very big brain.
I'm just going to play this on like the first level.
Well, there you go. So 3v3, we don't dislike it.
We do dislike it.
We dislike it very much.
We dislike it lots. It's not as fun as the normal game mode, and I think that's probably the big downer on it. It does offer some extra diversity in that some characters that you don't use very often sometimes find places to shine, but at the same time it also strips diversity in that the really powerful characters just sort of go, oh look, it's me, I'm on this team and I'm almost invincible because you can't bring enough characters to deal with me. So I know one opponent that I keep running into is like people with Relic 7 Malak pretty much always stick him on defense. Have you guys encountered the Relic 7 Malak defense?
All the time.
I've encountered the Relic 7 gas defense.
I
haven't even brought Asajj into this. What?
How have you managed that?
I don't know.
Sorry, side of the Force.
Big brain.
Let's find this.
He's too close to his microwave.
I've come across. Oh no, that's the issue. Got to get a Gear 12 Asajj.
But yeah, can't you still get the kills though?
Oh yeah, I've already done that bit.
Oh right, okay, fair enough. Right, so 3v3 before we were distracted again. So I keep running into Relic 7 Malak. Every opponent that I ever face that has Supreme Leader Kylo Ren, which seems to be the only GL I ever run into, sticks him on defense. So I keep running into him. I do find him slightly easier to beat in 3v3, but then obviously I've got some quite good tunes that I don't need to necessarily worry about the 4th and 5th slot to match up. I mean, are you guys seeing any Galactic Legends at all yet? I know that I'm in Division 1 and you're not quite there, but
I mean, I just mirror mine, so.
Are you still?
Yeah, I haven't gone. I haven't gone up against one yet, so
Yeah, well,
I haven't
obviously,
found a GL myself.
Andy, you're going to unlock yours soon. I assume you're going to stick him on offense.
yeah, yeah. I don't really have a lot of choice with that one, so yeah.
Davvo, are you using yours on defense or offense?
I'm using mine on offense at the moment because I'm a bit bored.
Yeah, I didn't know, because you were obviously not a fan of 3v3, whether you just stuck him on defense and were just like, whatever.
No, because I'm losing a lot on ships. So if I come across Galactic Legends, obviously they put their Galactic Legend down south. I put my Galactic Legend down south, but then they clear my whole north, and I get stuck on their malevolence 100% of the time.
Oh, fair enough. Are you running into people with only one of the get two capitals?
No, I'm running into people with both of them.
Yeah, I've been running into a few people with both, which is one of the reasons why we really needed to switch over to doing both Geonosian territory battles, because it feels like as a guild we've kind of been left behind a little bit in that area.
Yep, I agree with that.
Are you close to unlocking one of them? Because I know you spent a lot of it to get Kylo.
Yeah, I'm going to be having malevolence after this dark side territory battle.
That's quite good. I think we worked out that Uni was going to get another one after this one as well, weren't you?
Yeah, get a negotiator if we get 20 stars, or if we get 19 stars with 10 people doing the special missions.
I know there's a few of us that can do the first special mission. Not sure on the other one.
And only I do the second one, so...
What about you, Andy? How's your ship looking?
Good question. What ship?
Yep, it is a question.
Yeah, the Malevolence or Negotiator. Have you been buying either one of them, or where are you?
Might be on 10 shards for Negotiator, maybe.
So the free stuff.
Yeah. To be fair, I was using that currency to gear up my things for the Galactic Legend.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Right. So now that that's done, I need to go after the Negotiator, because obviously I've got like Relic 7 Annie and Ahsoka and all that sort of stuff, so having that's going to make them a lot more viable. To be fair, I'm going to have to do it anyway, because if I'm going to go after gas, then I need to be able to unlock the node to actually farm Shock T, which I can't do at the moment with my fleet. That's how bad they are. So yeah, that's pretty high up on the to-do list.
Yeah, I'd imagine it is. I was very surprised when I ran the stats on the guild that half the guild didn't have one. I was like, what are they doing with this currency? This is like the main thing it's for.
In fairness, it does explain why your Galactic Legend farm went a lot faster than mine, the whole get to thing.
Yeah.
And you had a better start and crystal.
So do you think you'll have him unlocked before 3v3 ends?
We're round 2 now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to say yes.
You might make it into the last round then.
I mean, you got 3 weeks.
I've only got 70 Zeta mats, so...
Yeah, but that's not a big deal.
I'm half tempted, like, when I get him, to not unlock him.
Why?
Don't do that.
Why would you do that?
Just to cheese my Grand Arena.
No, you should unlock him. Because even if...
He's going to match me against people with Galactic Legends, and, like, they're going to have, like, Relic 7 SLKRs, and I'm going to have, like... like
at least
Gear 8,
Gear 1.
Gear 8 Sith Emperor with 3 Zetas.
He can still beat someone.
Oh, no, I see where you're coming from there.
So, I don't know. If you guys are that strongly against me doing that, then I won't. But
no, I think you need to anyway.
To be honest,
because how does the ultimate abilities work? You have to unlock him to start farming those, don't you?
Yep, you have to use the Galactic Legend you have in order to unlock or to play the event.
Is that just play the same levels again?
Yeah. No, it's a special ultimate level.
So do you need to like?
I thought you had to farm. You have to farm another currency for it, don't you?
No. You use the same tickets to play an ultimate level of the event.
You say ultimate.
Oh, right, okay. Okay.
It's called that because it unlocks the ultimate ability.
Do you have to like get to quite a high relic to beat those?
It depends on which event you're playing. The Supreme Leader Kylo one was recommended relic 5. I don't know the Galactic Legend Ray
I'd assume it's the same.
requirement. I believe it was stated to be a bit easier.
Right, but
I
it's
know the event for Sith Eternal, but it looks like Dooku and Vader actually do majority of the work.
it's not locked to you have to be that gear level or relic level or whatever, is it?
No, you just have to own a Galactic Legend, or the Galactic Legend it relates to.
Okay. And you can't like save up that currency and not spend it and have like hordes of it to then not have to do it on another Galactic Legend.
What you do is you can repeat the event 10 times and you will get 10 ultimate mats.
Oh, right,
and Then
okay.
you can spend those ultimate mats on whichever Galactic Legend you want to.
Most of us have only got one because we are not whales.
Unlike number 1 in Grand Arena.
Yeah, but he hasn't got a Galactic Legend.
No, but he's a whale.
He's some kind of big fish. So we don't like 3v3, but of course we're forced to play it. Do you guys have any kind of strategy that you use that might be different to the normal game?
I rely less on leaders and more on synergies.
Okay, that's kind of interesting because I tend to still play with leaders as a kind of a big thing. Although I might obviously because you split squads. So like I might use I've been using Bastila as a leader because obviously most people always switch Yoda and Jolie with Revan. So I was using Bastila with Old Ben and Jedi Luke, which was quite good.
Yeah, Bastila is an annoying lead in the 3v3 because some teams you can't get the damage in 3 characters.
Yeah, I found
And
that.
obviously, if you fail, her whole protection gets reset.
Well, I'm using it on offense because it's me. Defense doesn't exist.
Oh, true.
Andy, what are you using?
What 3v3?
Yeah, what sort of stuff are you using? Any good teams jump out to you that you've been?
No, not really. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really use a lot of different variations from the 5. I just obviously take the core, make sure it still works with the leaders. I don't really change a lot. In terms of my defense is always the same anyway. It's like Grievous, Imperial Troopers, Separatists, Geos, and the old Republic trio that you hate so much.
You know what? They're probably quite a lot better in 3v3 than they are in 5v5.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's what I know. I don't really enjoy Grand Arena as much as everybody else. Like, I'm not saying it's a bad game mode because it's not. It's like I don't know. I just don't get a huge amount of enjoyment out of it, to be honest. So it's kind of like people that I've got. I usually finish first or second because I can just usually blitz through the teams, and obviously it's good to have the Zeta mats that you get at the end of it, but you just get a load of slicing materials, and I'm like, like, yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't grab me like it grabs other people.
That's fair.
Uni,
different game modes for different people.
Uni, have you got a strategy that's changed for you in 3v3?
Kinda. My strategy is pretty much just care less and not bother.
Yeah, forget to sign up.
Yeah,
Well, that happens in 5v5 as well, to be fair. But yeah, I just like experimenting with Gar Saxon at the moment. I got a couple of holds with Gar Saxon, Royal Guard, and Piet, which is fun.
Yeah, because
yeah.
I found it kind of strange because my GP has been going so quickly because partly ships. All my opponents don't put down things where you feel like you can experiment a lot of the time. It's very much like, oh look, it's a Darth Revan team or it's a bounty hunters team, and it's very hard to sometimes try stuff. I have tried a few things. My defense is ropey is the best way I would describe it. It has been getting better, but it's generally not anywhere near as good as what you guys would set. That's because I like to save everything to attack.
But
I was like
videos.
that once upon a time.
I've always been 50-50. And it's usually worked.
Yeah.
I found that because I've just moved up to Division 1, that everybody in my bracket has got like 800,000 more GP than me.
That is a yikes.
I think I'm on like 4.6. Yeah, I'm almost on 4.7. But 100,000 of that has been gained in sort of like, relicking like Luke and the last like couple of weeks. Really, I was already in Division 1, but yeah, it's quite a sort of a shock to sort of just go into this and be like, oh, they've got 800k more than you. That's a significant amount of stuff more that they've got to pick from. And I did. I won all 3 of my battles in the first week, which was quite surprising. I had one player put down Supreme Leader Kylo, which I knew he was going to do, and it took me 2 attempts to shift him, but I got rid of him. And then, it's like the rest of his stuff wasn't really anything.
Yeah.
There does seem to be a very much of a trend with players that have these Galactic Legends that they just sort of they stick it on defense and go, that's it, they'll never beat it. That's all I've got. I'm done.
Yeah, I'm very careful with doing that because I know there are counter teams, even if my opponent doesn't have an obvious one.
Yeah,
There's always a way.
I mean, I've got access to almost everything that's decent at some level, with the exception of other Galactic Legends, which I don't have any of, and I don't have Malak. But otherwise, I've got both the Revans. I've got like the Vader and all that lot. So I've usually got something that I can have a crack at different things with, but it's not necessarily hard enough in some cases.
Yep, that's fair.
But
I personally won't be putting my Galactic Legend on defense because I don't have, well, pretty much, I don't use Galactic Legends counters because I don't see them. So I don't have a counter to a Galactic Legend. And then if I do, that'd probably be Dreven.
Yeah.
And then I'd use C to solo gas.
Well, solo anybody. I think he can go through quite a few teams on his own, can't he?
Yeah, but like gas is the main issue I have.
Okay, I mean, it's kind of interesting that you say that because I've never had trouble with him. That's probably because I use Padme most of the time.
Yeah.
And I did tell you to gear up your Padme team.
I will. Okay. I have my list. Empire, Sith, and Jawas come first.
Yeah, fair enough. But I mean, at least I found Padme's much easier to deal with on defense in this.
Oh yeah, I mean, you don't get as much protection up from Anakin, Ahsoka, or Padme, and then you either give up some of your damage for a tank, or you give up your tank for damage.
Well, actually, I think it's more the fact that you can't squeeze C-3PO in there, which means the Vader counter is very much alive.
Well, Vader gets nerfed by 3v3 as well.
Right, but he doesn't get as nerfed as you think because he only loses a little bit of speed. But you guarantee that
Merciless massacre turns.
Yeah, but it's not it's not enough to stop him.
I still use Traya anyway, so.
Yeah, what is it you use with Traya against Padme?
Sith trio, and then if it's a really high level, I'll use Thrawn. But usually I don't even use Thrawn.
But you just use 3 versus 5?
I usually throw in 2 extra Sith, just because they can tank a few hits. And like Sidious, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love Sidious in Traya, so many debuffs. Okay,
and you just go for like I annihilate this guy, fracture that guy, and now annihilate somebody else?
You isolate Padme every time, so she can't give out the extra stuff. And then, yeah, you pretty much just keep everyone in check, keep debuffs on them, just don't die and then annihilate.
Okay, that gives me another excuse to rank up my triumvirate. They are on my list, but obviously I'm doing Galactic Legend first. That eats up so much stuff. I mean, I guess teams like the Triumvirate are really good in 3v3 because they themselves, being so powerful as that trio, now only have to face 3 opponents rather than 5.
Yeah, that's what I love about it. I mean, Sith usually work in quite small groups anyway, because you got Palpatine, Vader, Thrawn. That's pretty much that team. Got Sith trio.
Darth Revan,
There's quite all the Savage, and there's someone. Darth Revan, Bastila, Malak. There's so many threes.
So much for the rule of 2, then. Wait, why didn't you get a bonus for only having 2 Sith? That sounds like it should be a thing.
Maybe when Bane gets added, there will be.
Okay, so we've all got a little bit of an idea of what we've each been doing in terms of strategy. Are there any teams that you have found to be very useful? Or like just sort of sleepers where they've just sort of come out and gone, you know what, people keep failing against this team?
You know, come to think of it, the Sith trio.
So the triumvirate?
Yeah.
You putting them on defense then?
No, I use them on offense if I sign up.
Okay, so defensive teams.
Defensive teams. I actually really like that Gar Saxon team I've been using with Piet and Royal Guard. It doesn't look like much, but Royal Guard gets a lot of defense. The counters with stuns, counters with Piet means both Gar Saxon and Royal Guard then attack, which usually stuns. Gar Saxon then gains his health back because he's attacking out of turn every time they attack out of turn, which means Gar Saxon takes a lot of turns, which then builds up the stacks of Emperor's Trap, which then means that Piet can do quite a bit of damage on his next attack.
Okay. How many holds do you get on that? Is it usually just one, or is it like it picks up several?
A couple. It's not a great team because obviously it's Royal Guard, Piet, and Gar Saxon. Gar Saxon being Gear 8 doesn't put out a lot of damage. And then the other two aren't modded for damage. But yeah, I think if I get Gar Saxon Relic, it'll get a lot more holds.
At that point, you have to question your life choices, though, don't you?
I'm getting Gar Saxon Relic anyway. You can't stop me.
Oh yeah, you are you, aren't you?
But look, you've got to remember that Uni is like the ultimate rebel. He's such a rebel that he doesn't even have rebels. That's why he does Sith.
Sith Empire and Jawas.
You know, anything you tell him, he will rebel against to do the opposite.
That's not true.
It's almost true.
Relic my Jawas. I'll do it.
If you tell him to do something he's already doing, he'll do it.
I'll stop and do something else.
Davvo, is there...
Really, relicking Jawas is an amazing idea.
I agree with you.
Well, I want to do Jawas eventually as well, because Jawas are just kind of cool. I think everybody who likes Star Wars just likes Jawas.
Utini.
You know, and they're so great, especially in the Mando show when he's like hanging onto the sandcrawler.
Gets massacred by Jawas.
He gets a bit decked.
As it should be.
So, Uni, any other teams, or do you want to let someone else take a go?
I mean, I don't care for 3v3. I don't really pay attention. So, someone else can go. Or sign up, that's true.
Okay, Andy, have you got any good defensive teams?
No. I don't know what it is, but I don't understand. People just seem to struggle with Half Mission and Zalbar.
Okay. Well, Mission and Zalbar are really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, my mission seems to hit like quite hard as well. Which I haven't paid much attention to her in terms of modding. Every time I use her, she hits quite hard. And obviously with the armor shreds and the assists and all that kind of jazz, like people just seem to get stuck on it a lot. And considering like my Grievous team that I usually put on a 3v3, which is like Relic 5 Grievous, and then like I think I've got like Gear 10 like B1 Battle Droid and Gear 10 like B2.
You know what?
Like, people seem to get stuck on that as well.
If you get
just at least get stuck trying to take down Grievous, which I've always found a little bit weird, considering that Grievous is really not at his full potential till you get him to Relic 7, really. Yeah,
but B1 is awesome. If you get Relic B1, that guy kicks out so much damage, it's scary.
But my B1's like 3-star, like Gear 10.
Yeah.
I can't even farm the guy, so it's kind of like every time I see like
you were saying with your fleet you're struggling.
Every time like it gets like 3 or 4 defensive holds, I'm always like, really? I don't even know what you're doing wrong.
Have you tried it with Magna Guard instead of the B2?
Yes, I've done that a few times as well. It doesn't seem really. Yeah, like I said, they always seem to get defensive holds.
Because I run it with.
And obviously, I do Newt Gunray Dooku and Ventress, even though Ventress doesn't really have much synergy with the Separatists, but I'll just throw her in there because she's like a gear 12 and I got a Zeta on her. But I know why people get stuck because Dooku is mad annoying with his protection regen, stuns and his counters. Like I can see why people get stuck behind him. I think with 3v3, I haven't really thought about it much, but Newt must be probably better on 3v3 than he is on 5 because obviously you get that extortion spreading around a lot quicker.
I don't know. Newt's one of those. He's like a really cool, fun character to use. I mean, I like to use him on offense just because I really like playing the team because it's always kind of like interesting to try and control the battle with him and Dooku. But I don't always get things that I can play them into. That's definitely one thing I found as my divisions moved up is that there's not so many teams where you go, oh, I want to play that because it's like, oh look, it's Jedi Knight Revan and they're all immune to it because they've all got like 1,000,000 tenacity, or Yoda's going to do this or he's going to mark this, and you know what I mean. The team doesn't work against those sorts of things, and I know a lot of people play it on defense, but I just like playing the team. But I'd like more options to do it. I've started putting Wampa in with mine, so I've got Newt, Wampa, and Dooku, and Relic 4 Wampa is an absolute beast. He's awesome.
Who?
Relic 4 on the Wampa.
Who?
What do you mean, who? Wampa. You know what a Wampa is.
And he's very against Wampa.
I hate Wampa so much.
Did Wampas, kill your dad or something, or ruin your childhood?
I don't know what it is. I just hate Wampa. You know what I normally put in the chat, but I'm not going to say that because obviously I don't know if we're doing a PG podcast.
Yeah, we're not, but you can.
Me again.
You could not do it because it's.
I just can't stand Wampa. I don't know what it is. Just big grizzly ugly thing that gets his arm chopped off, and it's like.
Well, he doesn't get his arm chopped off in this, but you know what? That would have been a really cool death animation. That if every time he died, his arm fell off.
What do you all have against Wampa?
I like him. I think he's great. I'm really tempted to push him further up to Relic 7. I just don't have the materials to spend on him right now. I'm spending them on other stuff. He's so good. He deals absolutely horrific amounts of damage.
I mean, mine's been sat at gear 12 plus 4 for a while because I've had to do more important relics, but I really want to get him up there.
He is great. Getting him to Relic is like, like when you go, you can play Nest into so many teams and she like solos them or whatever. Wampa's like the same, but it only takes half the time because he just kills them in one hit.
Preach to me about Wampa.
I'm
not the first one here.
But yeah, no, that's definitely one of the characters that I've really enjoyed owning, having to do him for the Jedi Luke unlock, as opposed to some of the others which have made up a 3v3 team. I'm running Rolo, Lando, and Craptin Han, just because they're Relic 3. But it's like it's not a good team. They're not. They're okay. Rolo's really good in 3v3, but it feels like you've got these characters and there's no real benefit to them. It's kind of a weird squad because like Leia's got the better leadership, but her leadership is better if you used it on offense than Lando's, whereas Lando's is better if you use it on defense. And that's because I think her leadership's like gives you tenacity, and if you resist stuff, you get turn meter. But it's like there's no guarantee that your opponent's going to drop debuffs into you. And at the end of the day, they're just average rebels. So I've got them, so I've been sticking them on. But there was one team that I found's been really good, and that's been running the Night Sisters. So I've been running Ventress as the leader with Zombie Adaka, and that squad's done really well for me.
I do not care for Night Sisters. I know they're good, but they just annoyed me really early on in the game, and I've been neglecting them out of spite.
I just keep forgetting about them, not out of spite, but I just never got around to gearing them or doing anything with them.
I think a lot of players.
It's weird because obviously the amount of times that I've played that event where you beat a table for some reason. Gives you a lot of shots for stuff, and I just really haven't bothered. I've got a gear 12, obviously my Ventress with the Rampage data. All the rest of them are 4 or 5 star max. I just haven't done anything with them.
Yeah, well,
no idea why.
They're a pretty good team, but I don't know. I don't think they're not as good as they used to be, and I think that's because a lot of these newer characters that have come out have had the no revives thing added to them. Like no one can revive.
Night troopers kill them.
Yeah, or it's like
even more than they used to.
Well, I've played a lot of gas solos into full teams of Night Sisters. You know, and even when they've had relics, he just goes, "Well, you're not reviving." He just kills them so easily.
It's fun.
That's sad.
It is. It's
but also good because Night Sisters just so annoying.
Well, the same could be said for people who put SLKR on defense. But there you go.
Oh, that's not annoying. That's just obnoxious. Night Sisters as a team are an annoying team to kill and an annoying team to fight.
You know what? There's so many counters to them now, though. And a lot of people still don't really understand the best team compositions to run with them. So whenever I see them, like people still put Talzin as the lead, and it's like Talzin is the best lead when you're playing against the game. Whereas Ventress is the best lead when you're playing against the player. Like if you want a defense team, you put Ventress lead down because the counters are so much lower. But if you put Talzin down, you can beat it with all sorts of stuff. But that's
interesting. That's
probably been my best team in terms of teams that are geared. I've had some really good success with Jedi training Rey. Mine's only gear 8, and I've got the leadership Zeta. And her team has pretty much been, well, in 5v5 it's just like the hero bros and something else that's resistance. And in 3v3 I've been running her with a gear 8 BB-8 and a gear 10 R2. And it seems a lot of people underestimate Rey, and that occasionally picks up a hold. It never picks up more than one hold, though, because people go, "Oh, that was actually not awful," and they put something better into it and just clear it. But that's definitely been a character where I found that people massively underestimate her.
I always keep her on offense because, like, he absolutely stomps bounty hunters and first order. So you can get a relatively high banner as well. Like as long as you obviously kind of stall it out to get Eliminated Destiny off.
Yeah, I mean, I've found that that a lot of people do that. They hold her for offense because and for the reasons you just said, it's like, oh, she batters bounty hunters or whatever. But it's like I've got plenty of teams that do that because my offense is so high. But another thing I've found, especially in Grand Arena, is that everyone puts Night Sisters on defense because they don't get very high banners on offense. You know, the team takes a lot of damage and it never survives with protection. And it's a bit like Grievous. You know, it's like hardly anyone holds him for offense. He's a defensive guy. But Night Sisters are one of the best counters to Jedi Training Rey. So it's kind of like, well, when it's not on the table because you put it on defense, it's quite good.
Fun fact, Night Sisters also counter General Grievous.
I've had mixed experiences with that, like where my whole team explodes.
Isn't like that counter like really hairy?
It can be, definitely.
It's like you're just constantly relying on that Daka.
Well, the problem you get is that Daka's revive just triggers all the time because every time a Night Sister dies, it reduces the cooldown. But it's what does you is the B1 because he kicks out so much damage and he's hitting all of the Night Sisters. It's like everybody on the Night Sister team needs to have a good level of gear because if you have 1 or 2 weak people, it just sucks all the lives off your zombie straight away, and then you know. In comes the whirlwind, and that's it. Your whole team evaporates. I think it's quite hard for them to kill the droids as well, or at least I've found that, because it's like Ventress has got a dispel, but as soon as you use that on the Magna Guard, something will happen and the Magna Guard will be taunting again. So I've not had good experiences with them into the Separatist droids, but I don't know. There might be a way of having them be quite good in that regard, but I've not found it. Who else I've had? So I got Mon Mothma recently, and I've been using her with Hoth Rebel Scout and K2. And they're all gear 8, and they've got Omegas. I've got the Zetas. I've got both Zetas on Mon Mothma, and I managed to get a hold with that. Somebody obviously underestimated Mon Mothma. Quite funny.
To get that power stacked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those weird ones because I've not really used I've not played with her, so I don't really know how the team works very well. I just know if you play against her, you best bring some big guns because you don't want to get stuck.
Yeah. I've found that most of the time on defense, my Grand Arena report will show me either Padme, Traya, or Palpatine.
Okay, well that's quite interesting that they're actually using really premium teams, but then your Mon Mothma is actually really hard.
Yeah, Traya for same reason as Geos, Padme for the same reason as Geos, and Palpatine because of Vader.
It's because no one's got Jawa.
I don't know if Jawas would work.
Like if no matter how fast you make Hoth Rebel Scout, you'll never outspeed a pumped up Vader.
Well, even if you do, you're not going to stop him.
He gets like 56 speed from his own team, and then another
56 from your
40
team.
speed from yours.
Yeah.
So he's almost up 100 speed.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody wasted their Vader on offense on my team, I'd be quite happy with that.
Fair.
Yeah, it's a good trade.
We'll love a speedy Vader.
I mean, that's what I've kind of found with the General Grievous team. It's like a lot of people just drop Jedi Knight Revan into it, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take that trade.
Yeah, I'm guilty of doing that. It's just an annoying team to fight otherwise.
Yeah, it can be. I mean, there are obviously
like
a lot of
Revan,
things that play into it.
You
but
just mark Grievous and then get the full banner win.
Yeah. Have you found the team any harder if they change one of the characters? Because I've seen some teams where people will like go, oh, I don't want this character, but I'll have like what, or I'll put Newt in or whatever.
Unless they have like a relic what, it'll die to like the combination of Jedi Knight, Revan, and Yoda's AoEs.
Yeah, I suppose.
So not found that too hard. Like if he survived and revived Grievous, that would be very annoying.
I think that's kind of hard for you to let that happen. I think their Grievous would have to be quite weak for that to happen.
True.
So what about offense though? Is there any sort of like hidden gems that you've been using?
Supreme Leader Kylo is pretty good.
I don't think that's really a hidden gem. But...
Sake.
3PO and Chewie with my relic wedge has been getting some work done.
What gear is your 3PO and
Chewie? He is gear 8.
That's the same as mine. Mine's 6-star gear 8, and I've not been able to use him because my CLS team is all relic like 4 and 5, and he as soon as I add him to the team, he makes the team worse because he steals guard and then dies straight away.
See, my CLS team has a relic 5 Commander Luke Skywalker, and then the next highest is a gear 11 Chewbacca.
Oh, right, okay.
With the lowest being a gear 6 C-3PO.
Okay, well, I don't know, maybe you're finding more use for him than me, because I find my CLS team has to play into harder teams, and he's definitely a detriment. I just generally put the 4 of them in.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I have to do him, but it's been so slow farming him. I get that 1 shard a day.
Yeah, once you get that gear 7 and get him to like relic level, you will have a top tier meta team.
Yeah, I mean,
you've seen what Major does with it.
Yeah, his team's
you can't
awesome.
dispute that.
Isn't like his entire team relic 7 though?
Yes.
Well, you know.
But he wouldn't be doing the things he does with like a relic 7 R2D2 instead of Chewbacca.
No, but he does have a relic 7 R2D2, doesn't he?
Yes, because that's what he was using before.
Yeah. It's a character I'm looking forward to. At the moment, I'm just putting all my resources into Old Ben. And then I'll do GPO afterwards.
Fair enough.
So other than obviously the Galactic Legend, has there been anything else? Maybe something that's not like, meta?
I'm thinking.
No, let's move on. Uni, have you had any good offensive teams?
I don't particularly remember attacks, to be honest, but it's nothing special, I don't think.
Or just a blur of red lightsabers and everything's dead?
Not entirely red. You got Trey's purple ones, stuff like that. Anakin. I have to use Anakin nowadays.
Well, I suppose you have to get him up to Relic 7, so you kind of would use him.
Yeah. Used him with Padme and Ahsoka. They can kill some alright people.
Yeah, I've mostly been, because I've got gas, I've mostly been saving Ahsoka to go with him, or I've just been using her on her own. Andy, what about you?
I threw together a Qui-Gon lead with Zeta Barris and old Ben Kenobi.
Okay.
Which was interesting. It was slow and it was grindy. Don't get me wrong, it took ages. I think I was off at one point. I thought I was gonna time out. But obviously with Ben's taunt and then being 20% over on every hit, it's like it was a little bit fun to watch. I'm not saying it's like game breaking or anything like that, but that's the only thing that I can think of because normally it's like just run obviously meta teams. Yeah, I threw that against. I can't even remember who it was against. I'm sat here trying to remember and I can't. It was just funny. I just found it funny anyway.
Yeah, no, I know some of the Jedi teams can be quite good when you get 3v3 because it's not quite as bad, especially on offense. When you look at some of the characters like you've got like Ayla, who's got the sort of stun when she gets a crit. You can do some quite interesting things with characters like that because you don't have to worry about the full squad getting to them. So if you've got a lead that increases crit chance or something like that, you can. I've seen some stuff with her with Jedi Luke or Revan, and then obviously the additional crit chance can push her over 100%, and then she's attempting to inflict stun every time she attacks, which is quite good. Not massively special, but it's better in the territory battle. I've just noticed that there was one team that we haven't talked about, and that's Team Dick Punch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember the PG podcast we were going to have?
Yeah, you're allowed to say Dick. It's short for Richard. That's old Ben's real first name is Richard.
Yeah. Punching Richard.
I actually got hold with that.
So for our listeners who may not be aware of Team Dick Punch, it's Old Ben lead with Droidica, and then Night Sister Spirit is the traditional third. And Old Ben's lead gives you additional evasion, and then when you evade, you get a bit of turn meter. And Droidica gets a bonus evasion when it's using its shield, or when it's not using its shield, it gains like quite a chunk of evasion. And then Night Sister Spirit.
Well, if it's using its shield, it doesn't exactly need evasion.
All right, smart ass.
He's not wrong though, is he?
No, he's not. But I'm asking questions here. I know he gets like evasion at one point. He gets like quite a big chunk. Is it like 25% or something?
I don't know.
Anyway, it's lots. He gets lots.
No idea.
I'm gonna go check now.
Bravo literally cracks me up. Everything he says, it just sounds like so condescending.
Who?
Back to Team Dick Punch. Sorry.
Right. Yeah. So the deflect to shield generator ability on Droidica, it gets plus 50% speed and 25% evasion unless it has damage immunity. So whenever it's not using its shield, it has 25% evasion, and then Old Ben's lead. I'll just go up to Old Ben, get the exact number. Gives it an additional 15.
Oh, 15.
Yeah, so that puts you on 40% evasion, and then every time it evades, Old Ben's lead gives it 30% turn meter, which makes it quite obnoxious.
Indeed.
And then if you've got...
I think the other thing is a spirit.
Yeah.
That's 100% evasion with foresight.
Yeah, the spirit, I think it gets... Is it foresight at the start of each of its turns or something? Or the end of its turn it gets... It's something like that anyway.
Turn at the start of the encounter.
Yeah, so...
Like that. That's awful.
So generally what happens with this team is that people start attacking it, and usually if they're smart, they'll bring something that has a dispel, and the first thing they'll end up dispelling is Old Ben, who's taunted, assuming he doesn't, because he usually leads with the ability block, I've found, rather than the taunt. or they'll dispel the shield on the droidica, and then they'll get stuck behind Old Ben. And then what will happen is usually Old Ben will die, and then you just get stuck against these other two characters who are either immune to damage or just dodging everything, and they're both stunning you, or like the droidica will do its like machine gun attack, and it'll do a truckload of damage. It's quite an obnoxious team.
That's why we like it.
I do see how Sacro likes it so much.
Yeah, it's one of those teams. My Night Sister Spirit isn't quite good enough to use at it. I've not bought the Omegas. I don't have good mods for my Night Sister Spirit. My Night Sister Spirit is also only Gear 8, which is not quite enough because the problem with your Night Sister Spirit is that it's quite a fragile character if it doesn't dodge. So you generally want its gear level to be a little bit higher so that it could at least take a hit. But yeah, I've been using Talzin as the last spot because I've got nowhere else to put Talzin. So just chucking out Plague and just going, she'll die because someone will kill her first because they don't want to get plagued. But yeah, that's a very good defensive team. Definitely have to put something better than you think into it.
Bring something with Relic Mastery that gives accuracy.
Yeah, accuracy is a definite bonus. Or if you've got attacks that can't be evaded.
Or stuns.
Yeah, Kylo Ren Unmasked is quite good against it because you obviously strip all the buffs and put a 2-turn stun on them. That's quite good for locking down Old Ben.
Evade.
Yep, stunning means you can't evade.
But yeah, it's definitely a team that a lot of people will have that can just steal some quite good resources off your opponent in order to deal with it. I think it's probably one of the better 3v3 teams that at least our guild's been using. Yeah, I can't really think of any others that have been that good. A lot of teams kind of get neutered by the 3v3 format. I mean, I've got things like Ewoks, and I'm just like, they're just, you can't fit low grey in, so Nest can always beat them.
I do wish I had a better IG-11 and Quill duo, because they seem so obnoxious in 3v3.
They do look obnoxious. So, obviously you've already complained before the cast to me about this, or someone did, I think it was Uni, about the new Armourer, because I was going on about a team I thought would be good, but I can't do myself because...
I said you just talk about it the whole time.
Well, I haven't, but now I am going to talk about it. So, the Armourer character, which we spoke about on the last episode, or maybe it was the one before, I don't know, they all blur into one. You get the ability to put out the Beskar Ingot armor bonus thingamadoodad. But one of the things that they did is they made the AI on defense randomly hand it out. Now, I did find on Discord that some people were doing a bit of testing on the Galactic War, just putting 3 characters in and pressing auto and seeing what the AI would do. And they were saying that the armorer generally puts it on the weakest character. Whether that's actually been scripted, I'm not sure. But they were definitely saying that was... They put... I think the guy who was doing it, he had Stormtrooper hand lead with Wat Tambor and the Armourer. And basically the Armourer would always put the bonus on Wat, unless he took all his mods off Han.
That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. So in 3v3, though, the way I figured it would be quite good is the Armourer can't put the buff on herself. So if you put 2 other characters in there that are both quite decent or quite tanky, that even if she only put out the level 2 Ingot one, which obviously isn't as good as the 3 one, but even if she only put that out, it could make your characters or your team hard enough to get a hold. And the one that jumped out to me was Kylo Ren Unmasked with original Kylo Ren. And I think you'd probably need both the characters about Gear 12, because that's when they start to get quite durable. But Kylo Ren Unmasked, he brings the pre-taunt. He's got a stun. Regular Kylo's also got a stun. They both regain protection and health quite easily from his leadership, as well as their own natural abilities. They're both immune to, pretty much immune to dots, and things like Rex's jump in the air basically does nothing to them. So I kind of figured that team on defense would be quite good. I think you'd probably have to mod Kylo Ren and Mass to have a bit of tenacity, though, because I know a lot of people play stuff into him and they stun him and that's it. But that definitely sounds like something that could be quite a good team. Unfortunately, my regular Kylo is only gear 9, so he's no way near good enough to run that squad. And also, I kind of use Kylo Ren unmasked a lot to fight Geos because my Scion isn't quite up to it. Well, I've not been brave enough to try him. My Scion's gear 12, and he's got I've got a really awesome crit avoidance arrow on him, which under Traya gives him a lot. I think it's like 70% or something. Is it 40 from the lead? Yeah, 75% crit avoidance, which is obviously great, but it only takes 1 crit. So I'm still a bit scared about using him. But I definitely like to play that team or a similar team. And I was trying to convince Davvo to do it, but he's like, no, screw the armorer. But yeah, I definitely think there's a team there somewhere with the armorer. Not quite sure what it is, but I definitely think there is one. I can definitely see somebody putting Kylo unmasked under SLKR with the armorer, because I'm sure that would be quite obnoxious.
Yeah. I did call in the last podcast that the armorer would be plug and play for all 4 Galactic Legends, and that is definitely being evidenced all across the community. Like, she lets Sith Eternal Emperor beat Kylo Ren finally. She lets non-alt Kylo Ren beat alting Kylo Ren. And she makes Jedi Master Luke awful to fight.
You already don't like him.
Nope.
Have you seen the latest thing about them in the Geo Wars? The bug of their kit?
No. Enlighten us.
Yeah, obviously the Beskar armor is supposed to expire.
What, between waves?
When it clicks over rounds, but the protection regens actually stay in with the characters.
Oh.
Okay, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I literally think Arnold released a video on it about an hour ago. I think
that's definitely going to get fixed.
I saw things about like Jawa's like recovering like 1 million protection.
I mean, you still have to survive the first wave to be able to do it, but yeah, I'd imagine that'll get fixed. I could definitely see a character like the Armorer massively transforming that territory battle, where you can take a team in that wasn't that great before, and you just go, oh, I'll just put the armor buff on. I'll just put the armor buff on General Kenobi. Now all of these guys can't just annihilate him. You know, I've played a couple of battles with him at Relic 7, and he just gets the tar kicked out of him. But putting the armor in, you could definitely change quite a few characters. Any more thoughts on the armor, guys? Or has it just been me? Yeah, it's just been me.
I haven't really used him,
to be honest.
I haven't used him. Obviously, I've got him at 3-star or whatever it is. Obviously, you need to slap the Zeta on that, right, to make it like worthwhile.
You need
and I just don't have Zeta max.
You need the Zeta to get the 100% counterattack thing.
Yeah, which is a big part of it, right? So
it is on offense, but it doesn't necessarily make the character, because that's the thing that makes the Galactic Legends so obnoxious, is the fact that they've now got 100% counter chance, and they're so powerful. But you still get the level 3 where it makes you immune to crits if you get there. But I mean, I was looking at the defensive strategy just based on the level 2 ability, which was recover 30% protection, and then obviously you get the bonus from the first level, which was 50% defense and 15% max health.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I've been showing an uncharacteristic amount of restraint in not immediately trying to upgrade her to
I thought you
a
was
usable lever.
I thought you was all going to be like, oh, my Beskar Mando team, I totally need my armorer.
Oh, I am going to do her when I get around to Beskar Mando.
You know, or I thought you'd be like, I'm going to have this character and use it to just like jump some more ranks in Squad Arena.
I don't need Beskar Mando Not best commander. The armorer to get first in squad arena.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm all set.
How many Galactic Legends have you got in your shard?
Like the top 70.
Yeah, that sounds about the same as mine. I was up to the top 50, and then literally in like the last 2 weeks, it's crept from the top 50 to like the top 65.
Oof.
Yeah, it's definitely jumped up recently. I know there's a few more Sith Eternal Emperors popping up, and that's obviously because everybody's just about finished the Piet farms that they've all dumped all the gear on him that they've saved, and they've all started unlocking him.
Yeah, like our friend Andy.
Hey.
Or is it Mark?
Oh, it's
We'll
Andy. It's
never
definitely Andy.
know. We'll never know.
Oh, you're right. We'll never know. It's just a big mystery.
Yeah, it's an enigma, really.
Okay.
It is.
So last point. This is the last thing we're going to talk about on 3v3, and then we're going to be done because we've already rambled on for like 2 hours. As
That's
happens,
rookie numbers.
yeah, it's not a huge amount of time. I do have to edit this though. It's just going to take at least 4 hours, but there we go.
Leave that in.
I'm not going to take anything out. So other game modes in this game don't use 3v3. Is there anything where you would like to potentially see 3v3 used, or do you think it could be used well?
God, no.
No, not even like a
3v3.
not even like a 3v3 territory war.
No.
God,
War.
no.
Galactic War.
Yeah, if they ever revamp Galactic War, it would be fine to see that in there.
The 3v3 option on Galactic War.
But they'd also need to make the teams actually challenging.
Well, they are challenging until you get to like level 85.
I mean, yeah. But that's not what we're referring to here.
But no, that's fair enough.
I haven't even been doing Galactic War on my alt. I've literally just been doing one battle and then left it because I can't be asked doing it. It's that easy.
Really? You get loads of resources though. I suppose you have to play all the battles, don't you?
I've got to play all 12 battles, but I have just hit level 85, thankfully, so I can just
Yeah.
auto-sim it now.
Is it you can automatically auto sim it now? Because it used to be that you had to beat it like 150 times.
You had to beat it a certain amount of times, but I did that like the first 50 times. That was it. It wasn't hard.
All right, okay.
I just then couldn't be asked playing it, so I just do one battle a day.
Fair enough.
Boring.
Yeah, it is. It is now. Relics have definitely ruined that as a game mode. It would be nice if you could at least, I don't know, like you had a difficulty slider or something where you could just go, oh, you know what, I want to play a hard Galactic War rather than this Gear 8 Galactic War.
But then they just put things like the slider would just increase the gear, wouldn't it? And then
well,
you'd still be stuck with Clone Sergeant lead and stuff.
But maybe they could sort that out. I don't think I really run into Clone Sergeant lead, but it definitely does feel like there's a selection of about 30 or 40 teams that you keep seeing.
Yeah, and all of them have either Dooku, Vader, or Kylo Ren unmasked in them.
There is quite a lot of those.
Or Bastilla Shan lead.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
remember when those were hard?
Well, back when your only squad was like Phoenix at Gear 6 or something.
Yeah. Back when a Bastilla Shan lead would literally end your Galactic War for that day.
Yeah, I think I managed to dodge
Those
most
were
of
the
those.
days.
Right, okay, well, I think we're going to leave it there. Because otherwise we'll probably just ramble on about something else that's completely nothing to do with what we're supposed to be talking about.
What were we meant to be talking about again?
Well, originally 3v3, but thank you for...
Didn't we do like
originally
10 minutes of
American
that?
politics.
Yeah, we did.
Oh,
we did do
true. We are definitely editing that out, please.
that. I don't know. We'll see.
The world does not need to hear 4 Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes players' opinions on American politics.
4 British nerds think about American politics.
Yeah.
Is that going to be the title?
That's a podcast in itself.
Well, we're not doing that next week. We'll think of something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll leave it there, and hopefully all of our listeners will, all 4 of them, will tune in to our next show.
You are about to say all 3 of our listeners.
No, we must have gained 1, so we're up to 4 now.
I
mean, you know, every show you must gain one listener just by random chance.